Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we peel back the corporate curtain and serve you the unfiltered truth. And sometimes the truth is that somebody is selling a whole lot of stock and a new CFO walked in the door. Today we're diving into a very interesting Form 8K filing from Toppoint Holdings Incorporated, and let me tell you, this one has some juicy developments. We've got a sale of significant shares, a new financial chief, and even a board member stepping down. Stick around, we cover these reports so you don't have to. Before we get into today's deep dive, if you find value in our straightforward financial breakdowns, make sure you are subscribed. And if you love connecting with a community that shares your passion for corporate insights, join our Discord server linked in the description below for live discussions and more. So this is a Form 8, which is basically a company's way of announcing major events that shareholders should know about right away. Toppoint Holdings filed this on the 19th of December 2025 for events that happened that very same day. First off, let's talk about the major share transaction. Toppoint Holdings Incorporated, or the company as they call themselves, entered into a share purchase agreement, or SPA, with a company called Bravian Global Limited. Now, who sold the shares? It was Hock Si-chan, who is not just a seller here, but also the company's chief executive officer. Talk about an insider move. Mr. Chan is selling a chunky 500,000 shares of the company's common stock to Bravian Global. This is a direct sale from the top executive to an external buyer. What is also interesting is that the company itself agreed to give the buyer the right to buy their pro rata share of any new stock the company might issue in the future. This is essentially a preemptive right, giving the buyer a way to maintain their ownership percentage if the company decides to raise more capital by selling new shares. It's a bit of a double whammy, a big sale by the CEO, and a pre-arranged right for the buyer in future stock issuances. Next up, a significant change in the finance department. The company also signed an employment agreement with Kallang Randy Yeo, who is now their new interim chief financial officer. This happened on the same day, the 19th of December. Mr. Yeo will be paid a base salary of $5,000 per month. That might sound a little low for a CFO, but he's also eligible for standard employee benefits and bonuses, plus awards under the company's 2022 Equity Incentive Plan. The agreement also states that there are no special agreements or understandings with anyone else, and no family ties to existing officers or directors, which is standard to disclose. Now, about Mr. Yeo's background, he is not exactly new to this role, having been appointed as the company's controller back in November of 2025. His move to interim CFO comes after the previous CFO, John Feliciano III, resigned on the 15th of December. Mr. Yeo is quite the finance veteran, boasting over 20 years of experience in public accounting, investment banking, asset management, and financial technology. He has managed financial operations for investment funds, fintech startups, and hedge funds. He was even a member of the board of directors for LQR House Incorporated, serving as chairman of its nominating and corporate governance committee, and also on its compensation and audit committees. From 2021 to 2024, he was the chief financial officer, chief compliance officer, and head of operations at Chiral Global Investors LP, where he set up and managed an asset management fund. Before that, he was the US Senior Controller at Riskfield Incorporated, helping them through a $300 million initial public offering. He also held finance leadership roles at CITIC Securities International USA, LLC, and Direct Markets Holdings Corporation. He has got degrees in accounting and an MBA in accounting. This is a really solid finance background, suggesting the company is looking for someone with serious chops to steer their financial ship. Meanwhile, on the board front, Pablo Santana, a member of the company's board of directors, submitted his resignation, effective the same day, the 19th of December. The filing states clearly that his resignation was for personal reasons and not due to any disagreements with the company's operations, policies, or practices. Companies usually make a point of stating this to avoid any appearance of internal conflict. Stepping into the void left by Mr. Santana is Chung-Ming Bruce Hui, who was appointed to the board on the 19th of December. This appointment was actually a condition of that share purchase agreement we talked about earlier. Mr. Hui is 49 years old and brings over 25 years of experience in Hong Kong's financial industry, specializing in private wealth management, corporate wealth solutions, and wealth succession planning, has been a licensed responsible officer of an insurance brokerage and head of business for a trust company, with a strong focus on regulatory compliance and advising high net worth individuals and family businesses. He'll serve on the board until the next annual stockholder meeting. Interestingly, he won't receive compensation for his director services before that meeting. Like Mr. Yeo, The filing confirms no special arrangements or family relationships that would need further disclosure. Now, for the exhibits, which are the actual documents that back up all this information. Exhibit 10.1 is the share purchase agreement between Toppoint Holdings, Bravian Global, and Mr. Chan. Exhibit 10.2 is the employment agreement between Toppoint Holdings and Mr. Yo. It's marked with a little dagger, which means it is a management contract or a compensatory plan. And finally, Exhibit 104 is the cover page interactive data file, which is what's used for their electronic filings in something called Inline XBRL. The filing is signed on the 23rd of December 2025 by Hoxie Chan himself in his dual role as Chief Executive Officer and President. So what does this all mean for Toppoint Holdings? The most striking event is the CEO selling a significant number of shares while the company also grants the buyer preferential future rights. This could signal a few things. Perhaps the CEO is diversifying his personal holdings, or maybe he sees better opportunities elsewhere. However, coupled with the new interim CFO and the board change, it also raises questions about the company's future direction and its strategic partnerships. The company is bringing in seasoned financial talent with Mr. Yo, which is a positive sign for financial stability and governance. The board change tied to the share purchase suggests a potential strategic shift or a new investor taking a more active role. The risk here is that a CEO selling a large chunk of stock can sometimes be seen as a lack of confidence in the company's future. Although the preemptive right given to the buyer might counter that by showing continued commitment from a new major shareholder, the company's next moves regarding new share issuances will be closely watched. The appointment of a highly experienced interim CFO suggests a focus on strengthening financial operations and reporting, which is crucial given these significant transactions. Looking at the bigger picture, Toppoint Holdings seems to be navigating a period of transition. They're bolstering their financial leadership and potentially bringing in new strategic capital or partners, all while their CEO makes a significant personal investment shift. It is a classic corporate maneuver that can lead to growth or instability depending on how it is executed. The key will be how well this new leadership team integrates and how the company leverages the new shareholders' rights. Alright, that is our breakdown of Toppoint Holdings Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these executive and board changes? And what do you think about the CEO's share sale? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and subscribing ensures you don't miss our future deep dives. And as always, don't forget to check out the Discord link in the description to join the conversation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.